Alright, here we are, and, well, this is going to be a tutorial of Magic Gathering. In Magic Gathering, if I remember correctly, they start you off with a green deck, so I figured I would go with something different. We're going to go with Goblins. There are so many different ways you can go. You can choose to go with a certain type of creature and build your deck around those types of creatures. There's angels, soldiers, beasts, knights, demons, goblins, beasts, just a general beast. There's dogs, there's elementals. This is actually both elemental and dog, vampires, humans, shamans, uh, or you can just build decks that don't even really have a creature theme at all. You could just go straight vampires if you're really into vampires. I decided with goblins. Red. Uh, Red is a color that usually you can put out things very quickly. If you notice here on the side of each of these is a emblem that looks like a little fireball, a curling fireball. So you get these lands. As you can see at the bottom of the card, there's that little curling fireball. Each one of these that you put out on the field means that you can use them to play your cards. Basically, it's easier to show than to explain. Um, each time you use one of these to play a card, they become tapped. So it's a way of showing and knowing that you can't use it until your next turn. Uh, Again, much easier to show than to talk about. So, right here, this one, we have certain. Let's go with. Where is he? This guy. Right here, he costs two, and he has no abilities. And just that big empty space there underneath creature goblin warrior. So that's all he does. He is just a creature, and we'll get into power and toughness. He's got power and toughness of 2 and 2. That's why it's 2/2. Power comes first, 2 power, 2 toughness, and let's say he fought against this guy. You actually use your creatures to fight against each other. Uh, this one would lose, and for it, until the end of the turn, he would have 2-1. It's much easier to show than explain. I'll just get right into it. You're not having your own creatures fight, first of all, so let me put that out there. You're not having your own creatures fight against amongst themselves. All right. We go first. You can start with 7 cards, or you can mulligan. You will return 1 card to the bottom of your library, your deck. Your deck is sitting over here. It's a little grayed out at the moment. Let's see here. We we can, if we take this hand, we can start off with 2 land. That costs 1. That costs 1. So does that. That costs 3. And this one costs 3 as well. So there's a difference here. This means you have to have 2 reds to play it. This means you could have 1 red and 2 other colors. You can mix colors. You can make a red and black deck. You can make a black and green deck. You could have a blue and red deck. There's white as well. You could have all 5 colors. You could have 3 colors. You could have 4. Uh, so, as you can see here, uh, this is highlighted because it's showing that it's usable. Same as these. Blue highlight means that they are usable. when you mouse over these, it's showing this in orange because it means it's going to be using it. Um, let's start off with this one. This one's really nice and simple. When it dies, it does. You may have it deal 1 damage to any target. You don't have to, because if there's no other targets that you want it to hit, you don't have to. It's very important to watch the wording. There are creatures that would say when Goblin Arsonist dies or whatever, uh, have it deal. It leaves out the you may part. So, very important to notice. Now, as you can see again, it's highlighting one of the lands in orange because that land is going to be used. And as we have 2 lands, we can play 2 cards with a 1 cost designation. This one allows you to sack them, and add 1 red land. Patience, Sparky. So that's why these are showing up as usable, because you actually could, but you wouldn't want to at this moment. So this is the attack phase right here. I'm going to attack with just 1 goblin. It's going straight to Sparky's face. And okay, they are blocking. Sorry, got distracted. They're blocking, which a 1/1 creature against a 1/1 creature, they both lose. And this is what is called the graveyard. You can see in yellow highlighted up there is a gravestone. That's where your cards go when they are off the field. As this one is not a creature, it wouldn't hit the field, but it will create 2 goblin creatures. We'll get into that in a second. I don't know why it would say it can see my hand. That was really, really uncomfortable. Not comfortable with that at all. Alright, so let's get into this. This is a sorcery. There are cards that are not creatures. Sorceries and instants are spells that you can play and they go to your graveyard. Sorceries you can only play on your turn. Instants can be played at any time, which comes in handy at certain times. We're going to attack with the Goblin Arsonist. I want to try and cover everything that is possible here, so okay. Let me attack all the way through. Did 1 damage. My creature survives. If this... Okay. This is a power of 1. This is a toughness of 1. So if I would hit him for 1 power, it would take away his 1 toughness, and this dinosaur would die. See, you can have minotaurs, you can have dinosaurs. There's all kinds of different creatures available to you. Alright, my turn. Now we have 4 land. This only costs 3. 2 reds and 1 of any color. Goblin spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Goblins you control have haste. So this is very nice, very interesting. You can right click on any card and it'll give you a lot more information about it. So haste, creature with haste can attack and tap as soon as it comes under your control. I actually kind of passed over on something called Summoning Sickness. This creature has this weird gray aura emanating from it That means it can't attack or tap until it's till the next turn, till Sparky's turn. You have to. Each creature that does not have haste has to wait. So haste allows you to attack and tap as soon as it comes under your control on the battlefield. Is there a way to mute this? There we go. Thank you. Oh, all right. I'm not going to attack this turn because he has a creature with 3 toughness, and that's better to wait where I can defend against it if it attacks. Let's see, we'll skip to that here. I'll show you how that works here. Well, that's not good. So this is an instant. As I said, instants can be played on any turn. This one costs 1, so it's very nice to have in your deck because it can do 2 damage to any target. This has 2 toughness, so it's going to die. Now we pass to the blocking phase, though. So what I'm going to do here is, as I said before, if this thing is attacking, I have a better chance of killing it. Because when you're defending, you pick exactly how. You have an advantage in a way when you're being attacked, when you're the defending player. I can choose exactly where I want everything to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 damage onto this creature with 3 toughness. When that happens, if he chooses, as he did, you can see the arrows, he chose to attack against these 2 defenders. When that happens, this is going to die, and I'm going to kill that. As seen here. Good. I'm glad Sparky is silent now. Alright, my turn. I have 3 of those in the graveyard already? Oh, it's showing me that it would create 3. Okay, that's actually... Goblin spells you cast, control. Now that doesn't count towards this. This is still going to cost 3. Because it's not... that counts as a goblin. So does that. This is a token, which is more to explain. Tokens are created, and they're not... They are real creatures. Let's not even get into that. No need to question that, actually. There's a lot more to it than whether it's real or not. It's too much to get into at the moment. They explain a lot more about how tokens work. There actually might be an option within the options. Okay, so this one is still going to cost 1. If I didn't go over the other part of this. This guy has 2 abilities. So goblin spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and goblins you control have haste. He always costs 1, so you can't make him cheaper, unfortunately. I still have enough land, as you can see, just tapped 3 land for that. Popped out 3 tokens. They all have haste. Due to this guy. So that was all unanswered damage because when your creatures are tapped, when they've attacked or been tapped for another use, you can't defend with them. So as right here, I'm going to get hit with 3 damage, just as he got hit with 4, 6, 7 damage. 7 damage. Well, this happens sometimes where you just get land. That's what they call top decking land. Um, let's see here. Okay, so you have phases here. Phases when you can play your cards. This is your combat phase. It opens up during combat. So you can click on these to actually make the game pause during certain things. Stop after blocker, stop after damage, stop at end of turn, stop at end of next turn, and remove stop. Okay, so all these different options here. This is your attack phase. I'm going to attack again. I don't know what he has in his hand because he actually could, if he used a shock right now, as it's an instant spell, he could take out one of my creatures. I'm pretty sure I muted you. Yeah, I did mute. That's weird. Alright. It's another type of card here. Enchantment. Whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less attacks, Raid Bombardment deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker that creature is attacking. Well, this enchantments, let's start off with this. Enchantments are cards that sit on the field. It's mostly just sorceries. Yeah, sorceries and instants that go right to the graveyard. But as they're different from creatures, they had to come up with a different name. It still sits on the field, but it's called an enchantment. Alright, so yeah, you have 2 phases where you can play cards. The pre-combat phase and the post-combat phase, they're not really called that, but just want you to be aware of the different phases available to you. Barge in. Target creature, attacking creature, gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Each attacking non-human creature gains trample until end of turn. Trample. Each creature with trample can deal excess combat damage to player or planeswalker it's attacking. So, let's say they had one of these out there to defend against me, and I attacked with this. Since it has power of 2, I could actually do an excess damage of 1 to Sparky if they defended with this, if this creature has trample. So, he doesn't have any defenders, so it's unfortunate that I can't really show off how it works. I can actually stall. I can wait till next turn. I don't have to attack. That's your choice. We'll just pass that. I'm actually going to let hit the damage. No, I'm not going to let the damage through. I'm going to block with the Goblin Arsonist to further explain here the power and toughness mechanic. Goblin Arsonist has 1 power, so that took off 1 point of his power. You can see there in red, 3/1, right here, the 1. So, Normally the card is a 3/2, but the damage that I did to it made it a 3/1 for the moment. And I'm doing that extra point of damage to it, taking it up. I could have let it through just to show off some more things, but right here, I'll show off the barge in. This puts trample on every other creature. Oh, wait a minute. Each attacking non-human creature gains trample until end of turn. Ah, okay. So this is what can happen in this game. If you don't properly read the card, if you just assume what the card is going to say, you can encounter problems. Which is what I did. I didn't think this creature would get trample. I thought it was just a benefit for each other attacking non-human creature. So, that was an assumption, and that can really lead to a lot of mistakes, losses, losing your creature. The most important thing in this game is to read your cards. Make sure you understand them. Yeah, try and figure out exactly sorry, it was actually working on a new logo. Um, so I have some friends actually helping me with it. So very appreciative of that. There's a lot more to go into with this game. It's very easy to learn, and it will keep you learning every single time you play it. Is the best way to put it. If you enjoy something like that, where you feel like you're just mastering something and you are getting good at it, there's always someone better, or there's always something out there that you can learn more, you know? So, that's my thoughts on Magic the Gathering. I can always make another video about this in a different color, or just more about the goblins. Let me know. As always, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and have a good one.